I went through all this trouble to select the most ear-pleasing tracks available in the world of video game music, and you don't even enjoy them. What am I supposed to think about that, huh? I see how it is. I am not appreciated. I am never appreciated. Oh, here's the energy I needed tonight. Welcome to the Team Yuma's Happy Game Music Game Show with your host, the inimitable, incorrigible, incomparable, inflatable, Madhog Master! Hello, you nice people. It is I, your host, your beloved presenter. I am Madhog thy Master, and I am your conductor to this beautiful yet somehow faulty, slightly rusty train that we like to call a game show. Joining me, as always, we have the usual suspects. Current reigning heavyweight champion of the galaxy, Dantan.
What ho, peasants!
Yes, you will be defending your crown tonight. Well, isn't that a weird sentence for me to say? We have the other Alf of Twin Sanity here, Devar Arkvaron.
Yep, that's me.
And, of course, hedonistic actor, aka Mattimali, aka I cannot believe is not the crown champion of the galaxy tonight.
I'm not infallible.
Well, I guess you will have to prove yourself once again. Anyway, why is this introduction so stiff? I don't know, there is something wrong here. Oh, yes, we are missing a frosty friend tonight, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We don't have a, cold buddy? Wishing him, with all our hearts, a speedy recovery from sleep. So we are back once again. That was loud. Don't do that again. We are back once again with our regular program. And yes, no gimmicks, no seasonal events, no to any of that. It's just us playing a game. And you know the rules by now. You have to guess correctly from which game the following musical tracks come. If you don't guess it, well, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. You only get to be judged severely by yours truly. If you don't even bother answering, then I will smite you with the power of God. You will be smitten by me, because I am Zeus, the god, the king of the other gods. Yes, I said that. I might as well be, because this is my show. I control it. I hold your fate in the palm of me hands, and Madhog thy Master, bringing to you weird energy since 2012. Hey!
You'll probably still think of me as Icy Pal. You'll probably go, Icy Pal. I'm just like, yes, I'm Dantan.
Somehow I managed to confuse Devar for Icy Pal in chat earlier this week, which was unprecedented. Yeah. Here we are, I guess.
It's the nature of things.
I suppose so. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? It is time to get to a Tier 1 of... Tier 1. No, wait, let me restart. It is now time to get to track number 1 of Tier 1. There we go. You can do it, Madhog. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
You took my line. I was going to say that.
Thank you. I appreciate the external validation, but I have plenty of internal validation thanks to years of not doing therapy. Let's begin. Okay, keep your ears peeled. Track number 1, these are worth 1 point. You have 30 seconds or so. And please, Dantan, for the love of all that it is sacred, keep score.
That's what I intend to do, as I always do.
Right. And a 3, and a 2, and a 3, 2, and 1. Davar?
Super Mario Odyssey.
That was quick, but yes.
I recognize Pauline's theme.
Yes, we didn't even get to the sung part of this song. How disappointing. Wait a little longer before answering, guys. Come on. I went through all this trouble to select the most ear-pleasing tracks available in the world of video game music, and you don't even enjoy them. What am I supposed to think about that, huh? I see how it is. I am not appreciated. I am never appreciated. Oh, here's the energy I needed tonight.
Overdramatic.
Soul music, folks!
I mean, you can still play them.
I will do that!
Pleasure of the audience.
Here we go, off the rails. Don't you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom flying in every way.
Okay, enough with that. Once again, 1 point to Davario Arcavarone, whom is Italian now. I decided.
Yes, I'm Italiano.
Never mind, don't do that again.
Somebody stole my spaghetti!
God, that is so racist.
What do you expect from a cartoon from back in the old days?
1939. And you know what? Let's keep this little factoid in mind, because surprisingly, it might come up later in conversation. Who knows? It's not like I have a whole bit prepared.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, track number 2, everybody. And 3, 2, 1.
Had a gray haze for a long time though. I never found out what it was. I taste like vegetables I don't like. The town is like me, and everyone is boy.
Dantan.
Guilty Gear.
Yes, Guilty Gear Strive, to be specific.
Yeah, it's Bridget's theme, the town inside me.
It is indeed Bridget's theme. Trans rights! I will say this, you guys keep bringing up Guilty Gear as an answer to this show, so I thought to myself, why not just give it to them for once? Honestly, I don't really care about Guilty Gear, unless we are talking about Bridget. Because if you listen to the lyrics and you actually read in between the lines, yes, this definitely seems a recent addition, considering how her character changed in a fundamental level with the latest game. I said it once, I'll say it again, trans rights.
I will say this as well, regardless what people say, I believe that the characters of Guilty Gear all have good evolutions to their characters, Bridget and Testament included.
Yes. Yes.
As proven by Davar's display picture right now.
She, her, they, thems.
Yeah.
Probably the only Guilty Gear song I will use for a very long time. It's a good one. Right. Number 3 then. Davar?
Luigi's Mansion 3?
No. Dantan?
Abe's Oddworld?
No. Matti?
Persona 4?
No! This was Ratchet and Clank. Or, as it is known in France, Ratchet and Clank. It is probably not known as Ratchet and Clank, but, you know, Yes,
That'd be
this
funny
was
if it
the this was the first Ratchet and Clank game from the early days of PlayStation 2. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know which track from that game is very popular, so I picked the first one I found.
I've never really played Ratchet and Clank all that much. So
I've
I
never
wouldn't
played
know.
any of them.
Right, well, still, I'm surprised that none of you guessed it.
Well, there you go. Continue being surprised.
I guess I will.
So surprised.
So confrontational. Track number 4, everybody. Are you still with me, Matti?
Yeah,
You seem particularly out of sorts tonight, may I say.
oh, I just don't talk much when I don't have anything to say.
This is terrible for a radio show, Matti. Okay. Moving on. Track number 4. Oh, by the way, I'll need a specific answer in case it wasn't obvious.
Alright.
Matti.
Tetris Effect?
No. Devar.
Tetris 99?
Yes.
I thought it was that one.
So I played Tetris 99 for about a year. It was the only reason why I ever even bothered to pay Nintendo for a freaking stupid, dumb, idiotic internet subscription fee. I'm still so freaking mad about that.
Well, they all do it, so it's
Well,
basically...
here's the thing. Nintendo didn't used to do it, but then it started doing it. That's why I'm pissed.
That's because Sony and Microsoft started doing it, so...
Yes, the only one who still doesn't do it is Steam. And the day that changes, oh boy.
Yeah, that'll be crap.
Yes, I'll hate that.
Anyway, yes, Tetris 99. The VAR is firmly in the lead in the early goings of the game, but everything can still change.
Everything can crumble.
Yes, right. Track number 5 then.
What can I do for you?
The VAR.
Fantasy 10-2.
Can you repeat that, please?
Final Fantasy 10-2.
Can you say it slower?
Final Fantasy 10-2.
You would be correct. This is the song that's included in the opening sequence, the diegetic concert.
Yes.
It's a good opening, I suppose. At some point, I think we might run out of Final Fantasy games to include in this show. But up until then, let's keep the gravy train rolling, I suppose.
Yep.
Well, not at least 450 episodes or so. I don't know.
Well, we went through half of them by now, actually.
Yeah, I think I've covered all the main entries.
So track number 6 then. Matti.
Final Fantasy X.
Yes! Speaking of which, I couldn't resist. Sorry, the temptation was too strong.
The sequel followed by the original.
Yes,
I will say that song is probably the best one of the game, in my opinion.
Well, yes, until the guy starts singing, I would say. By that point...
I guess it's up to taste, because I quite like it.
I mean, to me specifically, it sounds like a pit bull barking. You know?
It's a general problem in many heavy metal songs.
Well, this is specifically shrieking death metal.
Which was the style at the time.
Which was the style at the time. Right. So Japan loves death metal, to my knowledge. Black metal, death metal. I'm putting H's in words that don't have H's. What is happening to me?
They love metal.
They love metal, yeah.
They sure do. With all the Final Fantasies out of the way...
Which won't be final, by the way.
No, they will not. They will not be ultimate, final, or finito, for that matter. But Track number 7, everybody. Let's keep going. The bar.
Sly Cooper?
What? No! No, it's
I'm
not.
taking a wild guess.
We have run out of time. Dantan.
Crash Bandicoot? Question mark?
No, it's not Rush Bandicoot, question mark. Matti?
Jack and Dexter 2.
No, why do you keep going to the 3D platformer? This is No More Heroes by Suda51. You weren't even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be our MO usually.
I mean, this is the one piece of music that everybody knows about from No More Heroes. Well,
Well,
I
yes,
say
I did that.
everybody in quotation marks. I say everybody while gesticulating wildly. You know? Okay, well, it's the most popular series by Suda51 by a long margin. Is it the best game or games? Well, that's debatable. There's Killer 7, which is a cult classic. Close to unplayable, if you ask me, but very interesting. I think we had enjoyed far too good music up until this point. We need to bring it down a notch and get to some really, really terrible renditions.
Uh-oh.
Okay, track number 8. Matti.
Ghostbusters, specifically 8-bit Nintendo version.
Yes, the NES Ghostbusters. I will accept the answer, which was a bit overcomplicated, but yes, I will accept it. This is indeed Ghostbusters. You see, I mean, it couldn't possibly be anywhere but Tier 1, because it is a rendition of a universally known theme.
Yeah.
The game itself might not be especially popular or highly regarded in any way whatsoever. This is about the music, specifically.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our next entry was almost a Tier 2 choice, but I decided, nah, it's Tier 1. Why? Because I said so.
Nah, I'd win.
Matti.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Matti is catching up, I think. Maybe.
Yeah,
Back in the
pretty
groove.
with Devar, so they're drawing right now.
Cool.
While the king is last in one.
I believe in you, King. It's time for track number 10, and, well, you know how, basically, in every episode, as of late, I keep putting in a 1 minute long track as opposed to the typical 30 seconds, because I subjectively believe it to be an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Well, this time, in this episode, we have 2 of those.
Oh, nice.
And this is the first one, and I think you will understand why. So this is me pulling the curtain a little bit on my method when it comes to selecting tracks. I usually like to put the most memorable ones, at least the most personally, subjectively memorable ones, either at the beginning or at the very end, to leave a good taste in people's mouth, you know?
Makes sense to me.
Right.
Or ears. In this
Or
case.
ears. I guess if ears could eat or taste, then you would be a weird abomination and must be put down, but yes, for the sake
There is
of the
actually,
metaphor.
But there is actually people that can actually taste sounds, weirdly enough.
Okay, that's not what I meant. I meant literally ears with teeth and tongues for maximum horror, body horror.
You mean actual physically got it?
This is me killing the metaphor. Moving on. Track number 10. 1 minute long, guys. You will see why. Running out of time. Dantan.
AEW's wrestling game?
No. Devar?
WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain.
I just said it's not a WWE wrestling game, Matti.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6.
No. So this is just me listening to the end of it. I think it was a bit longer than a minute, come to think of it. But nevertheless, this is the track that plays during the Majima boss fight in Yakuza Like a Dragon.
That's, yeah, never played that one.
I would have accepted Yakuza as a general umbrella answer. But anyway, yes, good game, great music. My god, this took me by surprise.
Yeah.
It's
The
so
only track
freaking good.
Yeah, the only track I know from that series is the Dane.
Yeah, back in the
Mean one.
Now, instead, I went with my favorite track, which is this one. You can hear why, right? It
Yes,
takes
yeah, I
you
can
through a
definitely
journey.
I can definitely see why, and it matches Majima to a T.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
technically...
Madhog.
Well, it's technically a fight against Majima and this other guy, which is a big guy, I don't remember his name. But yes, it's a very cool song for a very hard boss fight on the premise that it is a level 50 boss fight in an area that's mostly level 35. So that game has a bit of a grind curve in a couple of points, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's otherwise one of the better RPGs I played, story-wise. Right. Okay.
That means tier 1 is down.
Tier 1 is down. So, Dantan, if you would be so kind, can you post the score on chat?
Okay, I will post the scores, and I will also say them. Drawing with 3 and 3 is Devar and Matti, and I'm in last with 1.
Yes, you made 1 point. Wait, what did you guess again?
The Bridget song.
Right, you did. I forgot. How embarrassing. Okay then. So that was tier 1, done and dusted. Perfectly cleaned up, like a clean house.
Until we mess it up again.
Mm-hmm. Which means it is time for... Where is it? I can't find it. Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
Bonus round.
I'll never get tired of this. It is now time for the 1 second challenge. I'll play exactly 1 second of a track. You have to guess it. First one to guess it right gets how many points?
How many points?
Was it like 4 or 5?
No, it was 3 points. I was testing you.
Oh, I thought it was 2.
No, that's tier 2. That would be redundant. Otherwise. Okay, so I will play the 1 second now. If I find it, there it is. 3, 2, 1. Devar.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
It is indeed Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance Omicron per se 8. Yes. Correct answer. 3 points for Devar. Is winning.
Yep, we're 6 now.
6 points, Devar.
The night is still young. The game is still making its first baby sounds, ooh goo gaga. So you never know. Things might change.
I will say it's not my most favorite track from the game, but I won't say any more.
But it is the most easily recognizable for the 1 second challenge, now is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Tier 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Running out of time. Devar?
Grandia 2.
No. Dantan?
Metal Gear Solid 4?
There are no more Metal Gear Solid games, so no. Matti?
Silent Hill Downpour.
No, this is a track from Darksiders 2.
Ah. Fuck, I played that game.
Yes, I am playing that game right now. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I missed out. I think a lot of people missed out on a very good gem of a series back in the 7th generation.
I actually played the first 2 games. They're both really good.
Oh, gee, Dantan, you, mega fan of Warcraft and Warhammer, likes the game with a very clear Warhammer and Warcraft aesthetic. Say it ain't so. What a shock.
Well, the first game is just a very good, I feel like a Zelda clone, basically.
It's the action and blood and violence of God of War meets the structure of a Legend of Zelda game, meets the puzzles from Portal, inexplicably.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to track number 2. Devar.
Eternal Sonata.
It is not Eternal Sonata. It would be a piece from Chopin, otherwise.
I know, but I just chuck a name out.
Yes, well, I intercepted the name you chucked, and I threw it back in disgust.
Thank you, good sir. May I have another?
Oh, sure! However many you want, good child. Okay. Running out of time. Dantan.
Xenoblade Chronicles?
No. Matti.
The Rails of Mana.
No, this was Odin Sphere.
Ah.
The best game ever made by Vanillaware. I will fight you on the streets.
I've heard about it, but I've never actually played it.
Only seen the box art.
It is pretty good. It is also that time in the long and rich history of Vanillaware in which they were capable of showing restraints when it comes to the female proportions. And I say that while remembering very vividly how the goddess of death is drawn.
What other games have they made?
Oh, you know, Dragon's Crown.
Doesn't say anything.
Okay, well, if you know, you know. That's all I'm saying. Also, more recently, 13 Sentinels, their debut game was Grimoire. And now there is a new game that's coming out, which is a Advance War style game, to my understanding. They make different games every time, and they don't make sequels to those games, which I appreciate. They have a vision, they have an authorship. Their main guy loves big titties. What more can you ask?
Indeed.
Who could blame him?
Yeah.
Well, I do, because I really don't like my fictional women's breasts to be shaped like dirigibles falling off the sky. When I see that witch's breast, I think of the Hindenburg more than I think of female bosoms.
Well, you know, it's all about fun.
It's all about fun. Well, okay. We played that game when I was in Britain for a brief period of time. I didn't like it very much.
Oh, that was Dragon's Crown, yeah.
Yeah, Dragon's Crown.
But I couldn't play it because the characters kept blending with the background and it was very annoying.
Yeah, that is a downside to it.
Anyway, moving on. Track number 3. I recommend Odin Sphere, by the way. It's fun. If you like action RPG, that's one of the better examples. Devar?
BlazBlue.
It's not BlazBlue.
I knew it.
Running out of time. Give me your answer now, Dantan.
Castlevania Aria of Sorrow?
No. Would that be a tier 3 choice? Matti?
Atelier.
No, this is from Ys 9, Monstrum Nox.
Ah, right.
Okay.
I had a feeling it was a very familiar sounding music, but I didn't. I only seen a couple of Ys games back on the Nintendo.
The Ys series has a very distinct style of hard rock music. I would have accepted a generic answer, by the way.
Yeah, but I actually forgot.
Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. So the difficulty appears to have ramped up decisively from tier 1.
Oh yeah, it definitely has.
Okay. It's time for track number 4. Running out of time, Dantan.
Illusion of Gaia?
Delusion of Gaia? No. Devar?
Enigma.
That's a tier 3 selection, definitely. Matti?
Cow the Kangaroo 4.
Wow! Wow! No, but wow! It is simply known as Cow the Kangaroo. It's more of a reboot than a sequel. And I played it. Actually, it's very forgettable, but nevertheless. No, this is Cult of the Lamb.
Ah.
Or, as it is known in Sweden, Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb.
It's probably not known as Cult of the Lamb. But anyway, that's in Finnish, I assume.
Yeah.
That's fun. Thanks for sharing that with the class. You don't get a point. Wow! Wow! 4 tracks? Nobody guessed.
Nope.
Okay, it's time for track number 5.
Halfway through.
This is a juicy one. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I will be needing a specific, precise answer for this one. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. Matti.
Crash to Insanity.
It is Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity. Good for you. 2 points.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is the only game that I know that has the soundtrack entirely in a cappella.
Yes, it is very distinctive for that reason. It is an interesting choice. It definitely makes the game stand out for various reasons.
Okay.
It's time for track number 6. 3, 2, 1. Matti.
Tidy Tasmanian Tiger.
Correct! Matti, I don't understand you. You don't recognize Ratchet and Clank, but you recognize Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. What gives? You won't recognize Cave Story, but you will somehow recognize Kylo in Cube Reactor. What was it again?
Cave Story never interested me.
It's funny. It makes for good hashtag content TM.
Yeah.
Numero 7. Numero 7.
Number 7.
Running out of time, almost. Devar?
R-type.
What?
R-type?
No, it's not our type. It's not even my type. I don't know about you. Dantan?
Croc?
What?
Croc.
No, it's not Croc. Okay, we have run out of time. Matti.
Shining Force.
No, this was XCOM, UFO Defense.
Oh,
You know-
fuck.
You know, I think this game would have been right up Icy Pulse alley.
Yeah. It just sounds so Japanese RPG.
That depends by your definition.
Or it kind of sounds like one of those RPG Maker games, but
I don't know about that, but okay, sure. You know what I love about
Yeah.
listening to these tracks with headphones? That sometimes you get the funny one that plays a sort of synthesized drum in your eardrums, and you hear one beat on the left ear, the next beat on the right ear, and it sounds like a sledgehammer.
Yeah, I
to
definitely.
your eardrums.
I definitely felt that.
It's a bit annoying. But a good track otherwise, I would say. Speaking of which, track number 8, I need a specific answer for this one. 3, 2, 1. Devar.
Sonic Frontiers.
No, but I can see why you would say that. Dantan.
Sonic the Rise of Lyric.
No. Matti.
Carmageddon 2.
No, this was DMC, Devil May Cry! The ill-begotten, ill-fated attempt at a reboot. A very edgy reboot of Devil May Cry. Honestly, I think we should revisit it. I think it's very funny that it exists.
Not in a million years.
I will say this. So, I think we might get a copyright strike for this because it is apparently licensed music from a band known as Combi Christ. Because
Okay,
of course
just-
the name of the band is Combi Christ.
Okay, just during editing process, add this in the midst of it. Preview.
Okay, now listen. There has been a couple of times in which I get copyright strikes that I would not expect to get. For example, the last episode, the Icipal one, I have gotten 2. Not 1, 2. Thanks, Icipal, by the way. When that happens, I usually edit the video around already with the YouTube editor. I make the tracks much shorter, which in turn makes you sound a lot better at the game because you suddenly answer a lot faster than usual. If this happens, if the track is very short, you know why.
What is the maximum time amount in those then?
5 seconds.
Okay.
Anyway, it varies. It depends by the track, but usually 5 seconds is acceptable. Okay, track number 9 then. Running out of time. Davar.
Bloodstained.
No. Matti.
Xenogears.
No. Dantan.
Ark the Lad?
No, this was from Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
So, under normal circumstances, this game would be a tier 1 choice because it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and by the way, it's one of the best platformer and character action games I've ever played. It's so freaking good on every conceivable level. This track in particular was the final boss, I believe. Either the final boss or the very last super duper mega optional boss, which is the real final boss. Because you know Kirby games. You know how
Yes.
they do it. So yes, you could only hear this track if you get there. Hence why it is a tier 2 choice instead of a tier 1. Hooray!
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Play Kirby and the Forgotten Land if you can, if you have a Switch. If you don't have a Switch, find a way to play it anyway. Would be my recommendation. Okay. Track number 10, and 3, 2, 1, go. Matti.
Sam and Max save the world.
Sam and Max save the world. Correct.
Has this game been on this game
Yes.
show before?
Yes,
Yeah.
it has. Different track, but it has.
I thought so.
Okay, Dantan, can you update me on the score?
Okay, well, in first place we have Matti with 9. In second we have Devar with 6. And you have me with 1 in last. And if you put us backwards at 619...
Booyaka, booyaka! 619!
619!
Booyaka, booyaka! That's my pueblo! Okay, alright. 619. Oh my gosh, is our monarch going to be beheaded by the end of this show? Are we going to declare democracy on Dantan?
I'm going to settle for deportation.
Are we going to bring up the guillotine? No! It's death or nothing.
Alright. Jeez.
Guillotine it is!
Yay.
Are we mounting the head on a pike?
How about a Nolatine?
Okay, alright.
Heaven or hell? Let's rock!
It's time for true or false. Guess if the next track was used in a video game or not. You have 30 seconds to type your answer on chat. T for true or F for false. Okay?
Okay.
Got it.
Okie dokie. In that case, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Running out of time. Type your answers now. Okay. False, true, and true. I see. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Devar and Matti, why do you think this is true?
I just decided to put true down because I just taken a wild guess.
Yeah, video game soundtracks tend to have this specific rhythm that is different from if you make the track in the nothingness.
Okay, so unfortunately for you, Dantan, the answer is true.
All right. So how many points is that?
5 points for each guy. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay, so this track was from the game Corn Kids 64, which was featured previously in this game show. I really love this track, and that's why I wanted to use it. So the reason why the soundtrack from that game is an appropriate candidate for true or false is because that game technically does not have an original soundtrack. It was either borrowed from somewhere, some archival sites. They were properly credited, mind you. And there are also a few remixes here and there of these pre-existing tunes. But either way, it's a killer soundtrack and a good fit for the game and the levels. Corn Kids 64 is a very fun game. I recommend it, especially if you enjoy Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
So was this in a game or not, this track?
Yes, it was in a game, so the answer is true. I'm sorry, you cannot win on a technicality, Dantan. The rules of this game are very clear.
Okay, you confused me because you said I was right, I thought, but okay.
No, I said unfortunately for you, Dantan, to take you by surprise.
Okay, I misinterpreted. Sorry.
I was being mean and you didn't get it. My gosh, am I this bad at bullying? I'm too nice, damn it. Okay, so 5 points for Devar and Matti. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a heated battle between me and Matti apparently, but it's done
what a shock!
But it's done in the most underwhelming fashion between us both.
I'm so sorry, Dantan, but hey, I mean, the next tier is worth 4 points, so if you can get 2 answers right, you can almost catch up.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
All right, so I'm still pulling for you, by the way. You're my favorite. Don't tell the others.
All right, I won't tell Icy Pal.
The third and last tier of the game. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Devar?
Ring of Fear?
No, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know either, but I just...
Oh, it's made up! Okay! Ring of Fear! It's like you've taken fear and ring and mushed them together. You okay, man? Running out of time. And we are out of time. Dantan.
Deep Blue?
No. Matti?
Tinker Quarry.
No, this was another code, 2 memories, for the Nintendo DS. Sort of a hidden gem in the early days of the DS, so it was very gimmicky and rife with hideous stylus-based minigames, but I would best describe it as anime mist, otherwise. So recently there was a remake of the game for the Nintendo Switch, which also included a remaster of the sequel for the Nintendo Wii. To make a long story short, I would describe that remake as ungraceful. And mind you, I didn't have the highest opinion about another code in the first place, but this sequel is just charmless and rushed out. They clearly sent it out to die, Nintendo did. In fact, the only time anybody might have heard about this game coming out was in a random Nintendo Direct 6 months before its release. That tells you everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, track number 2 of Tier 3. Running out of time. The bar?
Castlevania.
No, it's not Castlevania. Dantan?
Grandia 3?
No. Wait, there was a third Grandia?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was. It wasn't released in the... It was released in America, but not in Europe.
That explains it. And finally, Matti.
Oh, what was my answer? I forgot. Atelier. Shit.
He said Atelier.
Yeah.
Take that answer.
Okay, I'll take that answer. I was about to remove a point from you. But yes, okay, so the game in question is Cavern of Dreams, which came out last year. It is a Nintendo 64 style game. It completes the ideal trilogy of recently released Nintendo 64 throwback games that came out in 2023, along with Pseudo Regalia and Corn Kids 64.
Right.
It is a very cute game with an impeccable atmosphere, both in terms of aesthetic and music, as you could hear right now. So, I'm going to pull the curtain once again on what is my method for my selection of tracks. I usually like to do a healthy blend between older games and more recent games. I'm sure you've noticed. To keep you guys on your toes, because you will never know if you get a game from 20 years ago or from 2 months ago at the very latest.
Yeah.
That's what makes this game challenging, in my opinion. There is a good chance you have not played Cavern of Dreams, and that's why it's tier 3. Although, since it's coming out on the Switch, that might be tier 2, but regardless, I stand by my choice. Now, the next one is definitely a tier 3 choice. It could have almost been a final boss. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Davar?
Katamari Damacy.
Really?
No.
You hear? Okay, no, it's not Hatamari Damashi, as Discord cut you off about it. Running out of time. Matti.
Momoka?
No. We are out of time, by the way, so unless you answer now, Dantan.
Musashi on the PS2.
No. This is milk inside a bag of milk, inside a bag of milk, inside a bag of milk, and so on. A game by Nikita Kryukov, if I am reading the name correctly.
It's on my wish list.
Yes. So I think it's one of the most important and beautiful, yet fundamentally unpleasant games I have ever played. It is a game that's purposefully designed to be abrasive to your senses because it transports you inside the mind and the world of a girl who suffered a traumatic event and she's barely functional as it is. And it's a game that really pulls you out of your comfort zone and transports you into this world to make you see it from her point of view. And that was merely the first game in the series, which is comprised of 2 games. You can beat the first game in 15 minutes, and then there is the second game, which is milk outside a bag of milk, And there is a lot I could say about this series and what it means to me, and I have written about it. I think it's ultimately a very important game, and it is about empathy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it is very effective as a psychological horror as well. And very unconventional too. I recommend it unless you are deeply autistic yourself. I myself am disabled legally, so I am teetering on the edge of that. So to me, this is a horror that's both unfamiliar and familiar. Right, so let's bring the mood back up with the next one. Davar?
Artonaliko?
No, it's not, but I appreciate the guessing. Matti?
Resonance of Fate?
No. And we are out of time, Dantan.
Tailspin?
No.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad we agree. La Poussière Tactics. This is the song that plays in the introduction to the game, that which explains the backstory of the world and all of that. This is the pioneering tactics RPG by Nippon Ichi, which would be used as the base for Disgaea eventually. So it's not quite all that well known, but thankfully it is widely available as of now, so you could play it wherever. Okay, so track number 5. Running out of time. Dantan.
Shining Wind?
No. Davar.
Brock the Investigator?
Oh, you cheeky sod, you pandering me, eh? No, it's not. It's not. Matti?
Jimmy and the pulsating mass.
No. No, this is the menu music from Slay the Princess. Speaking of relatively recent games.
Right.
So it came out last year. It's one of the most talked about indie games of the past solar cycle. I didn't need to say solar cycle, did I?
Nope.
It's quite a journey. It is very good. I have my own personal issues with it, with the writing at some point, but it is very weird, but also very poignant when it wants to be. I think the sum of all the pieces doesn't quite come together, but individually, it has some of the most striking moments in fiction, at least when it comes to visual novels, which this is that. Matti, I assumed you've heard about Slay the Princess.
Yes, I have.
Or, as it is known by Elmer Fudd, Slay the Princess, Slay the Princess, Slay the Princess.
Sway the princess?
Shh, be very, very quiet. I'm slaying princesses. I mean, that's basically the game. In a way.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Track number 6.
You can push yourself to the limit, being strong and jump with me. You can cry above the rainbow with me, close your eyes and just believe.
Nothing's gonna stop you and me from getting to where we wanna while this beat is kicking. You know that you're my kindred spirit, fly with me, Jay-Z, and push you to the limit.
You used to hide behind another face. At first I did
Running out of time.
understand.
Devar?
Persona.
No. Matti?
Loop 8, Summer of the Gods.
No. Dantan?
That was going to be my guess as well, Loop 8, but Disgaea 2, whatever.
No. This is Tatsunoko versus Capcom for the Nintendo Wii.
Another one that's from the returning to the show.
No, this is the first time I used it.
Oh, I could have sworn that we had it on the show before, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Maybe we did, but it was Icy Pulse Selection. I don't recall.
What
I
is
don't-
Tatsunoko?
Okay,
Tatsunoko
so
is
okay,
basically the...
may I explain this, because I think I am the most qualified to explain it, considering the cultural impact that this particular Japanese anime company had during the Italian anime boom of 1978. So Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, well, I said it already, is a big anime company that produced a whole slew of shonen action hero shows between the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and so forth. They are the creators of Gatchaman, Yatterman, Kyashan, or as it is known by the Anglo-Saxons, Kassern. They were originally the Speed Racer people, and so on and so forth. All of these characters are basically as obscure as they can get in America, to my knowledge. Hence why this game, I don't think it had a distribution in North America at all. But it was published in Italy because we actually know these characters. An entire generation of people know these characters.
Fun enough, the game was released in England as well. I remember seeing the box art for it on shelves.
Well, yes, the entire European market, I would have to assume.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was successful anywhere outside of Japan.
Yeah.
For reasons that are unfortunately obvious. But anyway, I have this game. Because of course I have it. Okay. Actually, I know more Tatsunoko characters than I know Capcom characters. That tells you everything. But yes, it's a fighting game, in case it wasn't obvious. It's a fighting game in the style of Marvel vs. Capcom. Right. For some reason, the final boss of the arcade version was the final boss in Okami. It seems like an arbitrary choice, but okay. Regardless, we are reaching the last corner of Tier 3. Let's get to track number 7. Davar?
Shin Megami Tensei?
No. Running out of time. Matti?
Blackwell Epiphany.
No, it's not. Dantan, are you going to answer?
LeChuck's Revenge.
No, this was Sheep Raider, starring Ralph the Wolf for the PlayStation 1.
Huh.
Remember the cel-shaded Ralph the Wolf puzzle game?
Yes, I do actually.
I think I've seen material from that.
Yes, it is a very funky soundtrack, I have to say.
I played the demo of that game actually back on the PS1.
Part of me wants to play it, but also part of me, the rational part of me, realizes that, oh no, I cannot deal with PlayStation 1 jank. I cannot. It's time for track number 8, and this is the other 1 minute long track, everybody.
Huzzah!
Also, for reasons that will become apparent as you listen to it, I have taken the liberty of cutting a piece of it in order to get to the good part faster.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so... but I had to leave the beginning of it. That's why I did a bit of editing. And you will see why right now. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yes, they did it. They actually did it. Running out of time. Dantan.
Shonen Jump Versus?
No. Matti?
Bravely Default 2.
No. Davar?
Time to throw a car at you?
You know, that almost rhymed. That's an assonance with Matti's answer. That's funny. No, this was from Hacker's Memory, a Digimon story, which is the companion piece video game for Cyber Sleuth. Cyber Sleuth was featured previously in this, but I had to include the final boss, because yes, this is the final boss track from Hacker's Memory, and I could not believe my own ear when it immediately throws at me La Carmina Burana right off the bat, unironically. And then it proceeds to stun me with one of the most compelling, absurdly blood-pumping final boss themes I've ever heard in my life. It's so good. It is so good. The soundtrack in these games isn't anything to write home about, but they don't mess around when it comes to the final boss. My gosh, this kicks all sorts of buttocks.
Yeah, interesting what they started it with.
Yes, you cannot believe how it begins because.
Yeah. Well, perhaps a cliched answer. I think Call of Carmina Burana is the greatest classical music album of all time.
It is very good, but also it has been memed to death. It has been used for jokes and gags to the point that your brain can no longer take it seriously when you hear it. So,
like all the classical music.
Like almost all the classical music, but in particular this one. So I have a ton of respect for this game and the composers for this game for attempting to bring it back to its glorious, original, majestic form and attaching it to one of the best final boss tracks I have ever heard. I've only showcased what is my personal favorite part of it, the most heart-palpitating part. The entire 5 minutes long piece of music takes you through a journey. There is mixture of classical music, metal symphony, and it rocks. Appropriately enough. Yeah. So take 5 minutes of your time to go listen to it. You won't regret it.
So what was it? Digimon?
Digimon.
I thought you said Digimon.
Digimon.
Yeah, that's how we pronounce it here.
Okay, that's fine and cool. Anyway, so it is indeed Digimon. A Digimon video game. Hacker's Memory, to be specific.
Okay.
The name of the track is Last Cyber Attack, if you're looking for it. Okay. I don't recommend playing these games. If you're like me and want to get all of the Digimon, you are in for one hell of an experience. Don't do that. Anyway. It's time for track number 9. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Running out of time. Okay, Devar.
Kingdom Hearts?
No, Dantan.
Danganronpa?
No, Matti.
Scarlet Nexus.
There is no freaking way in hell any of you was going to guess this one, by the way. This was Undernauts, Labyrinth of Yomi.
Good to know.
Some first-person dungeon crawler RPG I found on the Nintendo Switch. It's the menu music, and by the way, Goosebumps. Goosebumps, everybody.
Definitely.
Very good indeed. Fun fact, it only plays when you open the game the first time. If you exit the game and you go back to the main menu, there is a different track waiting for you.
I just thought it was sounding like some sort of creepy investigative thing, like basically like a murder scene or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I was getting from it when I was like thinking about when I was listening to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I cannot gel with your vibing.
I got the Last Dungeon vibe.
Last Dungeon vibe. You would have been closer to the truth, I suppose. The truth which would have set you free, but alas, we are still in a world of lies. Where does that come from? Doesn't matter. Time for track number 10, and I will be requiring a specific answer for this one. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. Dantan.
Is Gaia free?
Yes! Finally! Disgaea-free, absence of justice. I feel like I need to justify my reasoning for this game to be in tier 3. And the reason is simple. This is, by all intents and purposes, the black sheep of the franchise. It was released in the early days of the PlayStation 3. I think it did not sell well. And as of right now, this game is not available anywhere legally, unless you have still an original copy of the game, physical copy, and a PlayStation 3. I have neither. So
I have
as of
both.
good for you. Give it to me. and honestly, I am pissed. I am pissed that this game has not been released yet because it was my first Disgaea game. It's the game that made me fall in love with this series, and I hate it and love it for that. And it is the only game in the series in which you can freely combine special skills of the various characters. You can see why this had to be a tier 3 choice. And by the way, full-on musical number for the opening animated opening of the game, which is the best animated opening in the series, by far.
Especially the dancing part.
It's the best. It's clearly the best. Okay. Dantan, those are 4 points for you.
Yay! Bring him up to a 5.
This was the easiest choice in an otherwise very difficult tier 3. Okay, so what's the final score? Post it on chat, Dantan.
Will do. If I'm correct, then I'm in last place with 5. Devar's in second with 11. And Matty's in first with 14.
I think Matty might win again. Unless...
Final battle.
Yes, I keep waiting for the intro to hit, but then I remember, oh, I am the one who has to open the file. Okay, right. So it's time for the final boss, and I picked an especially evil one this time around, if I say so myself. You know the drill. It is worth 10 points. The track will be approximately 1 minute long.
Okay.
During which each and every one of you has 3 chances to give me the correct answer. But once the time runs out, you will not get any more chances. So be wise with your answers. Be mindful of the time running out. This is going to be a ride and a half, let me tell you. So, without any further ado, final boss time. 3, 2, 1, go. Matti.
Anodyne?
No. Running out of time. Very close to the end. Get your answers now. We are out of time, guys.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Okay, well, I'm removing points from you because you didn't even bother answering.
Go ahead. Don't care.
Go ahead. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Okay, well, language, young man.
No.
Okay, so first of all, Matti is the new crown king of this game show. Surprise, shock, and revelation.
Huzzah!
Good for you, Matti. Congratulations. Can you post the updated score, Dantan?
I assume we've lost 1 point, me and Devasa.
Yes, you have. The title of the game, and I'm going to read it to you, is Rough Trigger, The Vanocore Conspiracy for the PlayStation 2.
I have seen a review of that game.
Never seen or heard of it.
Of course you haven't. Who hasn't? It's a cheap Ratchet and Clank knockoff that came out at the very tail end of the console, and it looks like a game from 2001. It's not good, but this is a particularly good track it had, so I had to use it.
The tough was in that because the track sounds like it takes ages to get to the point.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does, but honestly, when it gets to the point, it's not that memorable, and the best part is the build-up, ironically. It's a good build-up, in fairness. So yes, that's it. That's Rough Trigger, the Vanocore Conspiracy. I have been sitting on this one for a while. But yes, congratulations, Matti. You won the game, and you are once again our reigning champion. Dantan's Kingdom was a short-lived one, unfortunately.
As expected.
But
I will
there will
basically
be more
abdicate
chances.
and rush away to basically to an aisle somewhere where no one can basically chop off my head.
Well, good luck with that. I've already sent the guards after you.
You need to step up your guessing game.
Jesus, Matti! Humble winner much?
At least I try to come up with an actual game name.
Wow!
I
Shots
couldn't
are
even
fired.
hazard a guess at all. You know, even if you asked me like 50 times in a row to guess, I'd be like, no, I cannot.
And that's why this was the final boss.
Yeah.
Rough Trigger, the less known sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the end of the show. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for enduring the pain.
I don't even remember did I answered anything correctly in Tier 3.
I don't think anybody did, except for Dantan, which is where he had gotten his 5 points. 5 minus 1 points.
Yeah. Well, I got my 4 points.
I am so sorry about that. I mean, no, I'm not sorry. That's the rule, sucker.
You need to be... Yeah, host needs to be clear on are you the contestant's friend or not.
Well, I am, but also I am your worst enemy. It's a fine line I'm dancing upon. Regardless, thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for playing the game. Thank you for enjoying yourself. This is making it all worth it. So give yourself a round of applause. Oh dear. And on that high note, we shall be seeing you next time for the next exciting episode of Be Confidently Wrong, the show in which you're wrong, he's wrong, they are wrong, everybody's wrong except me, your God. Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Anyway, I want to talk about this track.
Yeah.
For a minute. So, this is an a cappella rendition of a classic Mendelssohn overture. You know the one. It's sped up, but it's definitely recognizable. I like the various classical music influences that are to be found in Crash Bandicoot to Insanity. For example, there is the famous B music. You know the one. Exactly. But I want to share a fun fact with you about this particular piece of music. And by fun, I mean potentially traumatizing. Because I already knew about this piece of music. It is forever seared in my brain because of a particular series of cartoons I used to watch as a child, which were being broadcast on television. I'm talking about a forgotten Looney Tunes character by the name of Inky. And it's from a series of Looney Tunes shorts that were produced in between 1939 and 1950. It was created by Chuck Jones. Inky is a little African boy. Yes, so... And those shorts have this music playing in them. And now I forever have that Mendelssohn overture forever associated with a blackface caricature. Hooray! Yikes. It is yikes indeed. It is unfortunate, but we cannot shy away from the truth of history. We need to preserve it, even and especially the bad moments, the bad artistic decisions, because otherwise we cannot learn from it and do better. So yes, Chuck Jones, your favorite Looney Tunes creator, I'm sure, yours and mine, by the way, he too made a racist character. And there is a lot more to say about Inky and his legacy and his cartoons, but that's an essay for another time. I just wanted to share this with you because I've been bottling this up for 30 years.
There.
Everything's alright. The Inky can't hurt you no more.
I think Inky is a sweet boy too, but it's not his fault he's a racist caricature.
Tell us about your mother.
No, let's move on.